Hey guys, I'm Rich from NeoWin, and today we're unboxing the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. So I've been waiting for this one for a while. Those that know me know that I enjoy Huawei phones. I enjoy their cameras, and this was announced back in March alongside the P40, the rest of the P40 series. I've also got the Mate 30 Pro right here. This was the first one to ship without Google services on it, and just a little bit of background on that. I don't want to go too deep into it, but the U.S. government has banned U.S. companies from doing business with Huawei, and so that includes Google. And so we have Huawei mobile services now, and that's okay by me, to be honest. It works pretty well. But anyway, back to what I was saying. They announced it alongside the P40, and I got the P40 Pro early on. I think I had that under embargo. And that's awesome. It had a 50 megapixel main sensor, an 8 megapixel 5x zoom sensor, and an ultra wide, a 40 megapixel ultra wide sensor. So the really cool thing is that the 5x zoom sensor was RYYB. Now, what does that mean? We got to do a little background here because the camera innovation from Huawei has been incredible over the last few years, like really. But the first Huawei phone I ever used was the P10, and I fell in love with it. You know, it had the Leica lens. It was just beautiful. You know, and obviously we still have Leica. Now the P20, that was it wet my taste buds for more Huawei. And the P20 was the one. They did the 40 megapixel main sensor. Now, I used to review a lot of Windows phones. I was a Windows Phone guy. I loved the Lumia 1020. And what was cool about that to me is that the 41 megapixel sensor and it promised lossless zoom, which was really just digital cropping, but it was so high resolution that you could do lossless zoom. And so the P20 had that 40 megapixel sensor, and it's like, it did so many things right that the 1020 did wrong. And that was awesome. So, high resolution. It had that. It had a 3x telephoto lens sensor, so you could get even more lossless zoom than you could with the 1020. But anyway, enough about the 1020. So then came the P30 and the P30 Pro, and this is where it gets interesting because it was still a 40 megapixel main sensor, but it was called RYYB. So regular sensors are RGB, red, green, blue. And what they did was they took out green and replaced it with yellow. And being that yellow is the way they put it is that yellow is just a lighter color, it allows in 40% more light, and therefore low light performance is that much better. And let me tell you, the low light performance on the P30 Pro is like magical. You look at it and you say like, wait, how did this come from? It's like, it looks better than like with my actual eyeballs. It's incredible. And that was the P30. The low light performance was wild. So anyway, they took that RYYB sensor, and now in the P40 Pro, the 5x lens is also using that RYYB technology. The ultra wide lens is not, but it's a much higher resolution at 40 megapixels. Now, finally, that brings us to the P40 Pro Plus. Okay, so it's similar to the P40, but we have not just a little 5x zoom lens. No. We have two zoom lenses. We have a 3x and we have a 10x. So, there's a lot of hybrid zoom going on there because remember, we have that 50 megapixel main sensor. Now, also, by the way, those telephoto lenses, which are both 8 megapixels, they're not RYYB. So maybe in the next generation they are, but in this generation they are not. So you have that extra sensor, like several. And by the way, another thing, 3x and 10x, having those two layers might sound redundant. I don't think it is though, because one thing about when the P30 came out and they switched from the 3x zoom lens to the 5x, you notice that when you toggle in the app to zoom and you go from 1x to 5x, sometimes 5x feels like it's a little too much. Sometimes I just wish there was they just put a 3x stop in there. So, I mean, so going from 1x to 10x would absolutely be too much. So having just a 3x lens, a 10x lens, and then with the hybrid, there's a lot of AI technologies in here too, by the way. But with all that in mind, you could do a lot of hybrid zoom, and then you could get, solid 5x, 8x shots, and then you could go up to 100x. And, most companies send a reviewer's guide when they send a product, and Huawei didn't just send a reviewer's guide. They sent a comparison, like a 12-page comparison between the P40 Pro Plus and the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. And that was the other one that was promising 100x zoom, and that one actually, but they do it in a completely different way on the Samsung, because the optical zoom lens on the Samsung is only 4x, and there's only one. And then but the main sensor is 108 megapixels. So what they're doing is a lot more of it is relying on digital cropping of a very high resolution photo. And then, there is some hybrid stuff going on there as well. But like I said, AI stuff. There's a feature called Golden Snap, which I think is going to be pretty cool, where you can remove passersby from a photo. You can remove reflections, so that's pretty cool. And that uses AI stuff. Honestly, I asked Huawei to send this to me. The P40 Pro, the Plus came later. I had the P40 Pro originally, and I asked them for this. They always said it was coming, and I emailed them a few days ago. I was like, look, I'm going on vacation. When I go on vacation, I bring a Huawei phone. I don't like if I'm going anywhere where I know I'm going to be taking pictures that I care about, I have a Huawei phone with me. Always. So I was like, hey, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to bring a Huawei phone with me. I'd like it to be the P40 Pro Plus. Now, can you send me one? And they were like, yeah, so they sent me one, and here it is. All right, now this guy is made of ceramic. So it should be and this one's white also, by the way. So I'm excited about that. They didn't send the black one. Look at that camera module. Look how nice it looks in white. Oh, this is a lovely, lovely phone. So by the way, this is ceramic. The P40 Pro itself is just glass. So that's another thing that's just different about the designs of the two phones. The screens should be the same. The body's size should be the same. We're going to start booting this up, and then we'll take a look at what else is in the box. All right, so let's see what else is in here. SIM pin. Oh, many phones come with cases, and I suspect that whoever reviewed this one last still has theirs. But we have a European charger. This is a supercharged, by the way, max 40 watts, which is standard for Huawei phones. For premium Huawei phones. For the P40 Pro and the Pro Plus, you get 40 watts supercharged. And I believe for the P30 Pro, you had that as well. Type A to Type C cable, headphones, which are, of course, USB Type C headphones, because this does not have a headphone jack. But yeah, the charging, by the way, 40 watts, it's super fast. And with this phone, you actually have 40-watt wireless charging, where previously Huawei already had 27-watt wireless charging. So this is going to be even faster. All right, I used Phone Clone to send over all my apps. As I mentioned, there's no Google services on here, which means that there's no Google Play Store. This is not my first rodeo with Huawei mobile services. And by the way, there are a ton of things you can do, and I almost had a lot of fun figuring it out, because you almost got to hack your own phone a little bit, because I hack's the wrong word. Yeah, you got to play around with things. It's not nearly as simple as you'd probably wish it was. But Phone Clone is one thing that you can do. Jeez, I don't want to try gestures. What is it with every Android phone that you gotta do a tutorial of the gestures? So anyway, Phone Clone will copy all of your apps over from your existing phone, except for Google Apps. But it's a good head start on getting apps that aren't in the Huawei App Gallery. And Huawei App Gallery is another way of getting apps. But if we look, we can see that there's Amazon Music and Chase Bank and stuff like that. So all this stuff is here now. And then like I said, Huawei App Gallery. I also install the Amazon App Store on other Huawei phones. That's another way to do it. And then, of course, you could sideload. But you know what I really enjoyed doing was progressive web apps, because one, they take up no space on the device, and a lot of them work really well. They've come a long way in the past, few years. So, for example, if you want Gmail, you can open the browser app and you can go to Gmail, and then you can just install it as an app, and it works pretty great. And then, by the way, and that's the other thing, right? So if you don't have a Gmail app, you don't have a calendar app, a Google Calendar app, but you do have third-party email and calendar apps that can integrate with Google services, so that's fine too. So you're not missing a whole lot, or at least I that's what I found when I used it. So like I said, the screen 90 hertz, it's exactly the same as the one on the P40 Pro, and that's about it for the screen. It's meant to it's curved on all sides, and it's meant to look like a glass of water that's just about to overflow, and that's a little different from what the Mate 30 was. But this is the P series design. Okay, so it's meant to look like it's inspired by nature, is what a lot of companies love to say actually these days. And of course, we have the hole punch cutout for the front camera. And now over on the sides, we've got a USB Type-C port for charging, a nano SIM slot, speaker grill, no headphone jack like I said earlier, volume rocker, power button, and then there's that white ceramic back, which, by the way, white's always a nice color for a phone, but I mean, sometimes it's just a certain bright shade of white where it looks really nice, and then it's got that chrome colored side, and I think it looks awesome. We've also got a massive camera module. So if we look from this angle here, you can see that's quite the bump. Okay, that's a big camera bump, and that's because it's a big, camera lens. There's a lot of stuff in there. We've got a huge main sensor, two optical zoom lenses, time of flight sensor, I believe, and then of course we've got that ultra wide lens. So this is awesome. I can't wait to I don't know why they moved the fingerprint sensor. It's depending on the Huawei device you buy, the fingerprint sensor is either up here or it's down here, and that to me makes no sense. I understand having different designs between the different phones, and certain things are better at certain things, but and I also understand the camera's in a different place. For instance, the Mate 30 is right in the middle here. And it's always in the middle on the Mate. And then the P series, it used to be in a strip, but now that was back when there was just a lowly 3 camera lenses. Now there's 5. So, it's always up here because this is aimed at photography. It's meant to be held in that landscape orientation with that, with the camera housing up in that top left corner. So this comes with a Kirin 990 chipset, which is Huawei's latest. It's the first one actually to enable 4K 60 FPS video capture. And so that was something that was always weirdly missing because Apple and Qualcomm were doing it. So now that's here. You could do 4K 60 FPS video capture. In fact, I record when I do the close-up of the device, I use the Mate 30 Pro for that, and at 4K 60. So that was the first one to do it because it's got the new chipset. Of course it supports 5G, not in the US. I don't believe. I mean, I'm 99% sure that it's not going to support 5G bands in the US. It just is what it is. It's a 4G LTE phone here. I went through all this with the P40 Pro already, but now this is obviously the Pro Plus, more exciting, better camera, not better everything. A lot the display is the same, 90 hertz OLED. And so, by the way, in the comparison to the S20 Ultra, they even talked about how the S20 Ultra's got a 120 hertz screen, and it uses more battery life. That was, it's one of those things where they're like, well, we decided not to do it because it would use more battery life, and also you can't see as much of an improvement from 90 to 120 as you can from 60 to 90. Yeah, I know, but you could also do you could put a setting in there where the user can choose between 60, 90, and 120 hertz. Like you could put a 120 hertz screen in there and then allow people to set it to 90. Another thing you can do, just give people choice. It's that's all it is. And it is what it is. Like honestly, I think 90 is fine. I like, and that like what they said was not untrue, where there's a much bigger difference between 60 and 90 than there is between 90 and 120. But it's just it's one of those things. Like Samsung's got the 120 hertz screen, and that's it. So does OnePlus with the 8 Pro. This one's got the camera. I by the way, to be fair, I've never reviewed the S20 Ultra. So when they talk about that 100x zoom and all the fancy camera hardware that's on there, it's probably true. Although I have no doubt that Huawei does a better job of correcting the zoomed photos, because like even at 100x it looks terrible. Like this is not something that you want to do all the time. But I have no doubt that Huawei does a better job with that. Also, I hate Samsung's camera processing or image processing. To me, their photos look unnatural and oversaturated. And yes, I know Huawei's are contrary to that. Those tend to be over sharpened. But to me, that looks better. When I look at Samsung photos, I think they look terrible. And for that reason, I cannot bring myself to carry a Samsung phone with me. I did review the S20 Plus, not the S20 Ultra. And it's awesome because you have that 120 hertz screen, although the body feels cheap. But, and you have millimeter wave and sub-6 5G. It's an awesome phone. I just can't bring myself to do it because when I take a picture of something and I want to capture that memory, that's not the memory I want to capture. That's not the camera I want to use for that. So I just can't bring myself to carry a Samsung phone. So really, I would prefer a Huawei phone. That like I said, when I go on vacation, when I go anywhere where I care about the quality of the photo I take, where I say I might look back on this someday, or I'm going to post this to Instagram and I want people to say, that's a nice photo, I use a Huawei phone. Always. So, by the way, not the only good camera. Apple, Google, with the Pixel. There are other good cameras. Like, Apple and Google are great. Huawei is my personal favorite. Then Apple and Google. LG would be after that. Then you're getting into territory where, like, I could take it or leave it. Motorola is below that. Like they're doing a lot better with low light these days, but I still just have bad memories of terrible low light on like the Nexus 6. But and then like Samsung is just at the bottom for me. But that's it, guys. I'll have a review on this in a few weeks after I've been to Acadia National Park in Maine and Bar Harbor, and I'll have lots of pretty pictures to show you in my review, which will be available in a few weeks. So stay tuned. I'm Rich from NeoWin. Have a great night.